Well, good early morning there, YouTube. And been out at the sites here and wanted to check a few things out and wanted to have you guys be informed of one thing about this so-called coronal mass ejection. There's two of them that are inbound and will be arriving here um, within the next 5 hours. One thing I wanted to point out, well, here's a prediction model. I'll show you that here. And I'm pushing my Wi-Fi because I got several windows open. Let's go ahead and grab that bar and I'll show you about the timing there. And so yeah, at the arrival time here of the CME, and I have it blown up for the sake of recording there. And you see the duration of it. When you go over here to the other spiral, of course, it doesn't have the latest, well, they call this the latest data, but as we can see, missing. But this spiral will do good enough for now for this video. But as we can see, we have two combined CMEs inbound. And I'll go ahead and minimize that just a bit. And the reason why I'm pointing this out, we have, of course, earthquakes. And back out this over here. And other anomalies that are taking place on Earth regarding space weather. Well, let me get over here to this. I like that census site here because there's a conglomeration over here at the live weather feeds. And so we have this storm that's developing right here in the center part of the United States, and people ask me, well, why do you think this is weather modification central? Well, I say that for the eastern part of the United States. As you can see, their towers are quite active over here. So there's weather modification that takes place nationally, but as far as the weather making for the eastern part of the United States takes place right over here, guys. Okay. In fact, our local Des Moines station here just got an upgrade in their radar. It's got the biggest, baddest radar in the nation. This type of S-band radar, and it's the only kind in the nation, and it's the military grade type of technology that's used. What they call for imaging. Yeah, my butt. All that just to get a look. How about to get a nice good fry of the atmosphere and be able to do what you need to do. Okay, now this is a blizzard actually that's now forming over my head. Let me go over here, show you here the wind map. The winds right now are pretty well sustained, and we're getting a lot of ice and snow together, and along this line here. But I think it's kind of unusual when we have this timed with the incoming CME as well. Let's see here. Also, I wanted to point out with the arrival, here's the date down here, April 4th. Our geomagnetics are at its lowest. Okay. It goes to refresh, pardon me, folks. And we can already see a spike here of resistance. And I believe the cloud is just now starting to probably reach Earth, and you can see that in the meters here. See the pressure is up as well. We can see a spike in density. Okay, even a little bit of spike of the protons there as well. Not a spike, but an uplift, and an uptick there in solar wind. Not by a whole lot, but we can see that there is an uptick, and an uptick over here. You can see over the 6-hour data. And the planetary shock data here as well. You can also see the pressure is also up. BC is down, but you'll see it snap back as daylight comes. But as we can see, daylight here is fine, but as this starts to pass, you'll see this absorption rate, excuse me folks, take a hit. You'll see these markers take a rise. So, that being said, we have a ton going on now with the latest news. Uh, People are now still talking about the missing flight. Of course, it hasn't been found, gone without a trace, and they keep trying to tell people, the only people that have the power to do that, I think, to the extent that we have now with nothing. Okay, we have a lot of conjecture and hypothesis and theories, and but no trace, no real solid evidence. Excuse me. So, what is the truth behind this flight? There's conjecture now. I hear of certain individuals being on that flight that are involved in the cover-ups of late, and all this talk about crisis actors, and whether it be for Sandy Hook or Boston bombing, now involved in Malaysia, missing flight. Well, first of all, I don't know who was on that flight. Okay, we don't have a passenger manifest. We are only taking what we're being told of who was on that flight and what was going on with that flight. We know nothing, so be very careful, folks. And my video still stands from the one I made on day 2. My opinion has not changed in the matter. Okay, and we do have a lot of active sunspots out here, though, folks. Especially look at the eastern limb here rotating in. I was out there looking at the brilliance, so this is actually going to be something to watch. But these are actually popping off pretty good too. Not a lot of mixing, but I see this one and this one and this one being a major concern right now, especially the 221 and or 2021 and 2027. But this incoming group over here on the eastern limb also has some pretty good potential. So even though we talk about the solar flares and the incoming energy and the impact, one thing people don't realize is, come on, refresh. Look at the cool behind it, okay, and the quiet behind it. So you may think, oh, these solar flares, they bring this, and that. Well, sure they do, but they also bring quite the opposite as well behind it, and which also causes effects on the Earth. So yeah, I'm jumping all over the place right now. When I was looking at those sunspots, I thought I'd go ahead and bring that up as well. So everybody looks at the impacts of the flare itself when it hits. So what about the after effects? The after effects of space weather, what's it like afterwards? It actually has more like a calming and a cooling effect when you have bursts of energy coming through. And I think that's reasons why that we're having more of these type of fireball events, whether it be comets, asteroids, things of that nature, is because of the way the sun has been behaving in bursts, okay, rather than just nice, cool, calm, steady weather, okay. And when you get those bursts that go off in your neighborhood, you can bet it can cause some effects out there. So, and the effects of the solar wind itself, okay, interplanetary shock. So, that's the reason why this is kind of like my escape. If you want to delve into all this stuff about politics, and which has never changed, folks. It's all the same, man. From day 1 to day 2, day 3, day 4, it's all the same. Ecclesiastes 1:9, nothing's new under the sun. These guys are playing your same old game, and you need to really understand that. And and deal with life accordingly. Okay, uh, don't be so naive to think that we live in a perfect world and there's people that are messing it up. Okay, we're all messing it up in some way, shape, or form. We're not all perfect. Okay, that's why I believe in salvation, and that's why I'm not a progressive. Okay, I'm a saved sinner, and there's one perfect, and that is Christ. So I don't think you can get any more progressive than that. I mean, he sets the bar, and he is the bar. He's done it all for us, and I hear people saying, "Well, what do we do about this, or what do we do about that?" Well, do what you can do locally. Do a lot of praying. People want to go out and riot and demonstrate and things of that nature. That's just, not a good exercise of self-control, I think. So, well, with that being said, um, I just really hope that those who are in authority understand that there are principles of authority that they answer to as well. That they're not the highest authority, and I have the same access as they do. They don't have any grander access than I do, and neither does anybody else. And that's where we're all equal, folks. You know, we can all approach the throne boldly and make our supplications known unto Him. And if we're not consuming it on our own flesh, we can get a nice, good answer for our prayers. We need to patiently endure, folks. Okay, that's what the Book of Revelation calls on the part of the saints, is to patiently endure. As these things must take place, and I don't think that you know do we allow it to continue? No, you could do what you can do locally in your neighborhoods. If you're online and you're a keyboard activist, okay, make sure it's part of your community as well out there, and patiently endure. Are we on information overload? I don't know. Lord doesn't give us more than we can bear, folks, and it's all there to lead us to Him. So I know it's kind of a little bit of a boring report, but go back over here to the weather radars and can plainly see. I wanted to show you this one here. Watch New Mexico here. Did they take it off of there? Been in here talking long enough. Yeah, they took it off the loop there, where they had a storm pop up and then disappear. And as we see, this is one old monster storm, man. I'm telling you what. We have a blizzard on the backside and major thunderstorms and warnings, as you can see up here. Well, we have the boxes here for tornadoes and thunderstorms. So this is happening while you're in bed, folks. You're asleep, and you expect. Do you expect your weather radar, weather radio to wake you up and let you know that this bad boy is knocking on your back door if you are in parts of Louisiana and Mississippi and Georgia, Tennessee? I mean, come on, folks. You have to be aware and understand your weather is modified. Okay, and so if these tornadoes come knocking on your back door and you get injured in any way or you lose your property, you make sure insurance companies go after these folks. Here's that one loop I wanted to show you. There it is. Okay. I mean, how do you protect yourself in the middle of the night? Do you stay up like I am at 3 o'clock in the morning watching the radar loops? I mean, is that what we have to do? Or can we sue the company who produces the radar or the weather radios and stuff that doesn't alert us in time? I mean, what do we really do? I mean, my wife is like, "Why are you up in the middle of the night?" Well, why? Because look what's going on here, folks. In the middle of the night, there's a 3D image. So this is one good strong storm, even for the snow here. You can see these radar sites are even popping off. I call it being under the dome. Okay, so, well, anyway, folks, I'm going on 15 minutes on this video, so it's kind of boring for 15 minutes, but clear geoengineering going on in the middle of the night, folks. And right now we got winds outside clipping 40 miles an hour with this snow. And it's supposed to be up to 50 miles an hour, 60 mile an hour winds perhaps with gusts with this storm. Well, for us here in Iowa. You guys down here with this storm? I mean, look at these satellite or these sat stations, okay, going off. And like I said, TV 13, that's NBC News here. Our local station just got the biggest, baddest radar tower in the nation. Okay. Obviously, creating a clear delineation between the two storms when there's one low pressure system I showed you on the wind map there. This is what geoengineering looks like with these stations lighting up and steering these storms along, creating the weather for you. You know, you have to watch, you know, how they create and modify or treat your atmosphere the days before, what the weather's like before. When you light up the towers, you know, it's a nice, good example right there on this radar. You know, I also wonder if this is one of the ways they're using to handle the incoming CME. All right. Because I believe that the space weather equals Earth weather. So it's indicative. You know, people look for these superstorms. You know, I believe suspicious observers were looking for one out. You know, over here in the oceans over here off the coast of Australia, and I thought it was pretty neat. Now we've got this incoming CME, and we got a double barrel low, one spinning of course the counterclockwise and the other one spinning clockwise here, and here's the equator of course, and they spin differently according you know, so close to the equator though. I thought it was pretty neat. And then of course we have the other low that's spinning down over here. Nope, I'm sorry, spinning this way. Way down over here, another one over here, but one right over here, right on top of the equator. And then of course another low over here. But these two are, or these three are all definitely playing off of each other. And poor old Australia in these areas here can't get a break. I like this wind map too. If you guys ever go out there on, it's earth.nullschool.net. NULL school.net. We can see this convergence line going all the way up through Mexico and all the way up to the United States. So these storms are huge. The actual systems that are being fed, okay, there's a big low or a big high here, spinning the energy up and over. So, and this is just looking at the surface winds. This map is pretty creative. You can look at different views, different heights. All the way up. Let's go all the way up, huh? Pow. So what's going on way up there in the heavens? Okay, pow. Bye-bye. So we have this being turned around from off the coast of the United States. Look at that, folks. Go ahead and zoom out some more and you get a better perspective. Wow. Kind of like the United States right now. It's a little bit of an island unto itself. And then we have the weather that's going on there now. And this is a high upwind. If you go back up to the data here, data page. Let's go up a little medium height here. Refresh. It just seems like that'd be the case all over. Looks like the United States has got its own little deal going on here, don't it? To try to keep it in layman's terms for you, as far as the wind is concerned. That's a little odd. That's a low pressure system circulating there as well. Well, actually, this video is a little bit boring, but has a lot of good little tidbits. So I hope you guys watched it all. Take care.